Hi folks, Rachel here from Beads by Virgil. I am going to be demonstrating macrame. So let me show you the sample. It's gemstone and I really like the back fastening. So I'm going to be showing you how to use this method in a beaded necklace. So the beaded element is plain with a macrame fastening at the back. So you've got S-long thread, you need your beads that will go on a 0.5mm, some pretty beads for the end as well. And for the back fastening, I have actually used a 1mm thick polyester. I use a burner for the end of my macrame as well. It's very handy to have a macrame board, but I appreciate most of you probably haven't got a macrame board. That's a macrame board, but I find I do most of my macrame work on a kumihimo board. If you don't have a kumihimo board, it's not a problem. You can simply tape it onto a table or onto a clipboard and do exactly the same. Now I've had my moment where I've done prep, okay, because you don't need to see me be threading. Now what I've done first of all is I've cut approximately 28 inches of S-long. It really depends on how much you want. You can do this technique as well for a bracelet, and obviously you're not going to need that much. This is so that you can slide it over your head like this one, which I think is fab. It's also great if you've got any customers that, if you sell jewellery yourself, you've got customers perhaps that are allergic to certain metals. This is a great one because there's no metal content unless there's any metal beads in there. I've done 15.5 inches of beads. Now, for this project, you need a pin, because what we're going to do now is knot either side. So bring your ends together so it's roughly central. So I'm just going to do an overhand knot. Let me just show you that again. So I'm going to wrap it around my fingers just to make a loop and go through once, twice. Now keep that loop there, pop it in your bead mat. Right, this pin, make sure I'm in the right place, is to guide you. So can you see? It's more important really on the second one. So that's your one knot. I'm pushing that up and I'm going to do the other side. Put that to one side. Now you want this one so that you don't really have any distance between the end beads. So you want to lock it in place. So let's just show you that. I've just wrapped that in twice. I'm going to pop that on the mat, and this is a little bit more difficult and you will need to ease it down a little bit. Alright, so there we go. There's our knots to begin with. So that's secured in place. We're now going to start the macrame. Now what I'm going to do, so this is one end, I'm actually going to pop across, it doesn't matter where you pop it across, I'm going to pop that across the centre there. So that's my one end, and then I'm going to get the other end and I'm going to pop that across as well. So just let me bring this across. So this is what we're making. Now I'm switching over to my 1mm polyester. I'm going to turn that round and I'm hoping you can see that. And I'm going to pop this underneath until you hit the halfway point. So you're going to bring both ends together and find the halfway point. So the moves are, you make a P shape on the right. It doesn't matter if you start on the right or the left, but for simplicity we'll start on the right. Bring this thread over the top of this one going across. Go underneath what we call the lazy strand, which is the centre one because it doesn't do anything. And then we go under and up through this one. Okay, so I'm going to pull that one and pull the other one, and that secures our first one. Now can you see there's a little, what I call a humpback bridge there. That little humpback signifies the fact that our next move is on this side. So we're going to make a circular, I call it a Q shape on my left. I'm going to lift this one up, so I've got the tail here. That's going to come underneath the lazy strand and under and up through there. I'm going to just zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so the hump is on the right, so you repeat that. So make a P shape on the right. This must go over this one, under the lazy strand, under and up through the circle, and pull. Okay, so we're now going to switch to the left where the hump is, under the lazy strand, up through the circle, and pull. Now you might every now and then want to just pull those taut. I'm going to do a little bit more of that, and once I've done that I'm going to switch to the other necklace that I have already pre-formed or pre-made. I'm going to take that off the board. So let me show you what we've got so far. So obviously this little bit here would get trimmed off, but the way it works is you'd pull the raw ends and that would be your adjustable clasp. Now here's one I did earlier. They're glass marble beads. I think they're fab. They're really funky colours. And again, I've put size 8 seed beads in between. I've got the knots there, and I've done the macrame fastening. So what we do with this last little bit, so with my burner, I'm just going to put that in the burner and then push the burner at the side. But the good thing is with doing the burning, and that's why I've used the polyester thread to do the macrame rather than the Eslon, is you don't have any unsightly sewing in and out. Okay, so, and if I zoom in, you can hardly see where that's gone. And that's nice and firm, and that will stay in place. I think it's really nice to have something on the ends that weight down. So I've got some pretty little Swarovski crystals. I've also got a seed bead on the end. Where's my needle? And I'm just going to do a double knot and take that to the end. Like so, and again I would just trim that off, pop a little burn on there. So pop me a note in the comments, have you learnt anything new, and have you tried macrame before? Has it given you, if you've tried macrame before, has it given you some inspiration? So that is our green one. Okay, so obviously you can adjust the length on that. It doesn't matter if you've got a little bit of thread showing, but at the back you've got a really nice neat clasp that glides. You've also got these pretty little droppers at the back. Now can you see, really you do need something to bring it some weight at the back. Could I ask, if you like to be kept up to date with what's happening, please do subscribe to my newsletter. It does give you an introductory discount, and it's just a pop-up box that appears on my website beadsbythechill.co.uk. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you all being with me. Take care.